Hey guys, welcome to Not So Popular Opinion. Today we're going to be checking out a TikTok in response to a video clip of a man that believes child support should be put on a card that tracks how it's spent. Let's check out this baby mama's response.
I think child support should be put on a card that you get to track what it's being spent on.
So you mean to tell me when I get this payment once a month or once a week or whatever the arrangement may be, after I done already took care of the expenses of the child, when I get that money, it's also supposed to be used on the child? No, baby. It's going on the light bill. It's going on some crab legs. It's going on whatever the fuck I think it should go on. Because I already paid for everything. What you mean? You are reimbursing me. I'm getting paid for being the parent you are not. Okay? Let's not do that. Be smart. Use your noggin. Use your noggin, babe. Because you're not making sense. You're not making sense.
Alright, let's look at some of these comments real quick before I give my opinion on it. We got a lady here, I believe a lady, that says those expenses exist without the child. Therefore, the child support should be used only on things outside of that apply to their needs. Exactly. This is what a lot of people say, and what baby mamas don't get. Only used on things that apply to the child's needs. That's why it's called child support. We have too many entitled women believing that everything's about them. They are entitled to the child. They are entitled to money for having a child. That's why you have situations like Kanye's situation, to where Kim Kardashian allegedly is going to get $200,000 a month for child support. Think about how ridiculous that is. Next commenter says, you don't make sense as a mother thinking you should be reimbursed for your child that you chose to keep. Exactly. You should not be reimbursed for the expenses that it takes to raise your child. This is your child. Whether that baby daddy or whatever chooses to pitch in or is forced to, it is still your child. The fact that you feel that you should be reimbursed for taking care of your responsibilities is ridiculous. We got a woman here that says they swear we taking that little 100 and ordering a private jet to Fiji on the weekends. We ain't talking about no private jets. I hate when they use hyperbolic statements and people agree with it, because you know those people are idiots, just like the person making the comment. No shit, they don't think you spend it on private jets, but you will admittedly spend it on crab legs. You know what those crab legs could have bought? Some new shoes, a new backpack, several haircuts, or a hairdo, or clothes for that child. You don't need those crab legs, but that child does need the things it needs to strive. Another person says, when he starts keeping track of his child, I'll let him keep track of the pocket change he gives me every month to raise them respectfully. If it was pocket change you were getting, you wouldn't be on TikTok making hyperbolic comments. You would be at the courthouse whining and complaining that it ain't enough. So you know it's not pocket change. People say stupid things for stupid people to respond and cheer to. Another person says, and then it's like $78. Let's be for real. Once again, it only shows exactly how childish people are when they don't have a real point to make. They try to insult people or make hyperbolic statements. I know I've used that term. This is what's going on, so I'm just using it. It's not $78. And if it was $78, you wouldn't be on TikTok. You'd be at his house yelling and screaming that he got a new girlfriend and he can take her out to dinner, but all he paying you is $78. We've all seen the videos. We've all seen the YouTube clips about women doing this. You ain't no better. You just looking for cheers for your stupid comment online because you're lonely. Alright, let's just, I'm going to try to remain calm and civil about this, but let's just start with the first warning sign or red flag, as people like to say online. The wig, the Frankenstein's monster's wife or bride of Frankenstein makeup and the attitude. All red flags. If you see that in any human being, run for the hills. Do not waste your time speaking to them. Do not waste your time interacting with them. Don't even acknowledge them, because they are nothing but a waste of time. So she goes on to say that if she already took care of everything, she is being reimbursed. Let's just set the record straight with this. There's no reimbursement for taking care of your child, okay? Those are your responsibilities as a person who chose to have a child. There's no reimbursement system set up for that. And if you think so, your thinking is flawed and you're being ridiculous. Growing up in the hood that I so unfortunately grew up in, I saw a lot of people like this, to where they got child support, and let's be real about it, they weren't paying their bills before that child support came. They weren't paying their rent, their light bills. They weren't paying for their car note. They were waiting on their child support, or they were waiting on simp number 1 or number 2 that they told a lie to about, oh, my baby daddy's not helping me. I need somebody to help me out. They weren't paying for anything. They were using that child support, just like this woman is using it, for expensive dinners, or to get their nails done, their hair done, buy another weave, buy another wig, buy some crazy outfit that they don't need, while their child is wearing hand-me-down clothes, hand-me-down shoes, no backpacks, nappy-looking hair, and barely making it. So let's get that straight. I grew up in that environment, so I know firsthand that's how it works. Any adult knows that with or without that child, light bills, car note, and rent do exist. Perfect example of this is that I know people that have split custody of their kids, and they only see them during spring break, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and summer breaks. You think that man or that woman gets to take off paying rent when they have an extra room in that house set aside just for that child? You think they get to take off paying rent while that child isn't there? Or they get a discount on rent since that child isn't there? Of course they don't. But the people in that situation realize that they have to be adults, and that rent is due when rent is due. And those people in those situations, they don't get child support for the months that their kid is with them. They don't get reimbursement, as you call it, from the parent who is without the child for those months. They pay for every expense that comes along with that child, because they are an adult and they realize that expenses come with a child. I fully believe that child support should be put on the card for this reason and this reason mostly. If you can handle all your expenses for that child on your own, then that child support is for rainy day for that child. Not because you wanted crab's legs or you needed some bullshit you really didn't need but you wanted. The person that's paying you child support can still go out and get those things while paying you child support. So you should be able to do it without their child support. Rainy days, as I see it for a child, is, guess what? They tear up their shoes. They tear up their clothes. You got backup money stacked up month after month that you claiming you really don't need, because a lot of y'all claim to be bad bitches and all this other shit, so you don't need the money. So you should be stacking up for your kid. So when they turn 15, 16, they don't need to go out and get a job when they should be studying because they want a car. Or they need a car because they play sports, or they have after school activities, or you know what, they want to work to further themselves. They shouldn't have to be doing it just to buy a car. That money that you really apparently don't need should be stacked up for that kid. A lot of kids in this situation don't have a dime for a college fund because of people like you. How about if that money sat on the card, if you really didn't need it for that kid, and it paid for their college tuition, or gave them a down payment on a home when they became an adult? The biggest problem is that this whole system has created a bunch of entitled ass women who aren't worth a dime, because the real women Don't act like this. Don't talk like this. Don't feel entitled. Men are still paying for the mistakes of some white man who left from milk and cigarettes in the 1950s, and it's bullshit. The system is not the same. Marriages aren't the same. Clearly we know marriages aren't the same because women complain about cooking, cleaning, and doing anything. Sorry, some women. There are some really good women out there. But realistically, that's what we see the most of. People get online and spew this nonsense. People need to be adults. If you know any woman like this, she is a child, and she is not a real woman. Plain and simple. Alright guys, let me know what you think. I really want to hear what you guys think about this. If you believe that child support should be put on a card, let's hear about it. I fully believe it. I felt that way since I was a teenager when I watched people make mistakes and blow child support money on crap. If you feel that it shouldn't, if you're one of those baby mamas that feel you should spend it on whatever you want and you think it's a reimbursement, go ahead and say that. We can debate it. We can talk about it. I'm all up for discussion about anything. All right, guys. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. See you in the next one. Peace.